Hello everyone and welcome back to Aprons On. I'm Andrew. Today we've got a couple of chickens. I like to buy whole chickens because when you buy whole chickens, you're looking at around 90 cents a pound, as opposed to nearly $3 a pound if you buy boneless skinless chicken breast. So what are we going to do with these two lovely little beasties? Well, one of them we're going to just take off of the board here and get out of the way. And this one, we're going to spatchcock. It's a lovely word that, isn't it? Spatchcock. I did try and look up the etymology of the word, or the origins of the word. There's a couple of things that keep coming up. And one is it's short for dispatched cock, which almost sounds worse. And the other one is spatchcock, which was a process that was employed to cook eels. Why are we going to spatchcock it? Well, because it cooks in half the time. This, I just weighed this little chicken, was just over 5 pounds, so about 2¼ kilos at 20 minutes a pound. You know, this would take about hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes to cook as a whole bird. But if you spatchcock this and open it up like a book, you're going to cut that time in half. It'd be about 45 minutes. If you get a tea towel, sit that down first, put your board on there, and it really helps stop it moving around. So let's get stuck in. You don't need a knife necessarily to spatchcock. I'm going to use some kitchen shears. First thing I want to do is flip the bird over onto its front. So now you're looking at the back. So the backbone is there. With your scissors, this is the tail, or the parson's nose. Just go either side of that, nice and close to the backbone. One side. And up to the other side, and there's your backbone removed. Don't throw that away. That can go in the stock pile. The next thing we're going to do, this is the breastbone. You'll see there's that little white area in the front. We're just going to take a knife and split that. And now that will help the bird lay really nice and flat. So there it is. I just went ahead, actually I pulled out those ribs, just slide a knife underneath them and they just come right out. You don't have to do that, you can leave them in there. It just makes it a little bit easier if you want to carve this up. So there is our spatchcocked chicken. Now what you'll notice now is the chicken is all pretty much the same height, which means the meat is all about the same depth, which is why it cooks so much quicker. So the next thing I do, and this is optional, but you'll find it makes life a lot easier if you're going to put this on a grill. And that is take a couple of skewers. They don't have to be metal ones, but it does seem to help keep this whole thing more stable. And I go across diagonally. So this is what we're going to eat at our house tonight for supper. These are great on the barbecue grill, which is why you want these skewers. It makes it a bit easier to pick it up. I'm going to cook this actually in the oven. So go ahead and set your oven to 400 Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius, or gas mark 6. Now, we want to season this. So what are we going to do? We're just going to do pepper, nice sort of pepper, good amount of salt, a little bit of thyme, and we're also going to put some lemon zest on it. So this is a foil. It just works like a rasp. We're going to massage all of this in to the meat here in a bit. Cut this lemon in half. And drizzle some juice on there. and then get our hands in and get all that lovely lemon zest down inside of there. Flip it over and we'll just hit it with a bit of olive oil. Get your hands on it. Feel the love. You know, cooking's very relaxing, or at least I find it very relaxing. And with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, we need all the relaxation we can get. So get in your kitchen and use it as a form of meditation, relaxation. So in the oven then, 400 degrees. So it's on the top rack in the oven. That way we've got a good chance of getting some nice brown on that skin. So there we are at 45 minutes. Let's just see where we are temperature wise. If it's 180, you have absolutely no worries at all. So there you go, everybody. That's my supper. Maybe you were following along and it's your supper as well. You can see how really simple this is. Salt and pepper, lemon zest, lemon juice, bit of olive oil. That's it. So on to our other chicken then. We're not going to actually cook this one. What we're going to do is actually joint it up. We're going to cut the chicken up into breast cutlets, thighs, legs, and wings. So this is where you really save some money. So the first thing I'm going to do is flip it over, find where that joint is for the wing, take that off. Same on the other side. So we find where the wing joins onto the body. In fact, it's worth just take your time with this and just experiment and feel where those joints are, because that's where you want to put your knife, and you'll be able to feel it. So there's no big rush. There it is, and it just comes right off. So then, there's your chicken, and we're going to take off these legs. So if you'll see there, this you've got that thin membrane of skin. You're just going to cut through that, and you'll see it just falls open on this natural seam right there. You want to take that skin all the way to the end, because what we're going to do now is grab a hold and bend up that leg and pop that socket out. So that's the head of the femur. That is now popped out of the socket. Because this is the first time for a lot of you doing this, I'm going to do this a very simple way, and I've not gone ahead and taken the oyster out with the leg, and I'll explain why in a minute. So back on the other side then, exactly the same routine. All the way down. There's that ball joint. Let's go in the other side of that, and there's your other leg. Now, the oysters. There are two absolutely luscious little pieces of meat that sit right here. And if I just take off this little bit of skin, you'll be able to see them. They sit, if I can hold this, they sit in this little hollow. And they're delicious. And you can see, if you've not ever cut up your own chicken before, it might be a bit of a stretch to try and get those out all in one go. So we didn't. And those are the chef's treat. We can fry those up in a frying pan. They're lovely. Those are our two legs. Now, before we go on to the breasts, if we flip this over, you will see this line of fat. That is actually where we cut through there like that. It gives you a mark. So there's one drumstick, and there's one thigh. Same again on t'other one. There is that line. Where that line is, that is where you're going to put your knife in. Famous last words. There it is. And there's your other drumstick. Right, now we can get back to the breast. Now there's a couple of things you can do here actually. If you wanted to, you could actually keep this as a crown of chicken. And what you would do is you'd get your kitchen shears and you would just cut down this line, down to the bottom, and then all you've got are the two breasts connected to the breastbone, but none of the back. But we're not going to do that. We are just going to take these breasts off. So find the middle. Helps if you've got a nice sharp knife. And just using the point of your knife, take your time. You see, we're just opening that up. Boy, these processed chickens are wet inside. So that's one breast off. Same again, just to the other side of the breastbone. Tip of your knife down those ribs. And there's your other one. What I've noticed actually is when you get these supermarket chickens that are in the bag, they actually benefit for when you're cutting them up. If you take them out of the bag, dry them off, set them in the fridge uncovered, and it really helps dry them out. So there's our carcass. That goes into stock. Now we can cut these breasts in half. If you're interested, on the inside there, that's your tenderloin. I generally just leave them on the breast, but let's cut this one in half. So it's surprising when you break these chickens down just how much meat is on them. So you've got your 4 breast cutlets, your 2 wings, 2 drumsticks, 2 thighs. Well, there you are, everyone. That is how I cut up a chicken. Other people may do it different ways. Certainly if you're a professional butcher, you're going to probably do a better job than I did. But like I say, I'm a home cook. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get the most value out of those 2 whole chickens. Cheers, everyone. See you next time. Thanks.